Tears of joy. I think the first thing we did, like my roommates and I ran out, we started loading the dishwasher. It was like a race to who could get to the washing machine fast enough.
OU Student Legal Services sent a mass email to the OU community earlier this week, providing their assistance to those living at the apartment. Tracy Langford is the director of SLS and says under the Oklahoma Residential Landlord-Tenant Act, landlords are required to provide a fit and habitable unit for their tenants. She says residents should not be charged for every day without water. Management at the apartment complex told residents in an email to expect information to be sent out about compensation for the duration of the water outage.
Sent us a message on Sunday saying that there would be compensation provided for the inconvenience, but no other details about that were given to us.
Reporting in Norman, Spencer Plato, OU Nightly.
OU Student Legal Services are able to help Millennium residents in need. Their website is ou.edu/studentlegalservices.
A new public safety report shows a need for more staffing and support in the Norman Fire Department. OU Nightly's Olivia Hayes joins us now live in Norman. Olivia, you spoke with fire personnel about these findings.
Sophia, Emma, I am here at Norman's Fire Station 1, where Deputy Chief Joel Chesser tells me that their field staff hasn't really seen much of an increase since 2013, but their call volume has shot up nearly 80%.
Right now, our Station 1, we're approximately responding to over 400 calls a month for service out of this particular station.
Nearly half of Norman residents say they believe Norman Fire Services has declined over the last 3 years. That's according to a new study from Matrix Consulting Group hired by the city of Norman.
For the last several years, we've kind of indicated, looking at the growth and just what we're seeing in our own run numbers and our responses, we've indicated to the city that we need Station 10 to help combat some of that stuff.
The report not only showed a staffing and resource strain, but also a need for updates and improvements at the stations.
Maintenance on fire stations is just like maintenance on a home. There you figure out there's always something broken needs to be fixed, and these people live and run in these stations 24/7.
But Chesser says certain things can't always be a priority.
Getting water and toilets to flush is the priority versus putting in some walls and stuff that may take up that, because we only have a certain slice of the pie to be able to function and renovate those stations to keep them going.
Regardless of the challenges, Chesser says the department is more dedicated than ever to serving Norman.
We do a lot with what we have, and we're very proud of our organization and the response that we provide to the community, and we're always looking for ways to get better and serve the community.
Tomorrow on OU Nightly, I sit down with Norman Police to discuss the findings surrounding their department, also in this report. Reporting live in Norman, Olivia Hayes, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Olivia. The findings of this report were gathered over the last 14 months.
President Donald Trump's remarks are drawing reaction after a press conference with the Israeli Prime Minister. OU Nightly's Taryn Ward has that and the rest of today's international and national headlines from the News Center.
Emma, alongside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Trump announced his proposal he says would aid the war in Gaza.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it.
The president says Gaza could be, quote, the Riviera of the Middle East under his plans, and did not rule out U.S. troops' involvement. President Trump also calling for over 2 million Gazans to leave the region during the rebuild. President Trump's plan was praised by Israeli officials who say it could be good for their country. Meanwhile, Egyptian officials say recovery should happen without Palestinians leaving Gaza. A top Justice Department official is accusing leaders of the FBI of insubordination in connection to the investigation of January 6th events. The acting Deputy Attorney General is asking FBI leadership to name the employees involved in the investigation. The DOJ clarified that those employees will not all be fired, but anyone who weaponized the FBI could be. President Trump signs an executive action this afternoon banning transgender athletes from women's sports. The Trump administration says schools that do not comply with the order could be in violation of Title IX and lose federal funding. Emma, Sophia, back to you.
Thanks, Taryn. The West Coast still stands in chaos as floods and mudslides rip through California.
See how this is affecting cities in the state next.
Almighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Heavy rain in California brings flooding and mudslides to parts of the state as parts of the state work to rebuild after deadly wildfires. OU Nightly's Cole Webster has the details in today's Earth Report.
Sophia, parts of the state are bracing for more landslides as heavy rain continues. Officials say the storm has brought up to 20 inches of rain in some cities, shutting down roads. And in Southern California, the area devastated by wildfires last month is also seeing a risk of mudslides. Officials have not confirmed if anyone was hurt. Billions of gallons of water are set to be released from California's reservoirs while the goal of helping ravaged areas. President Trump ordered the release last week, saying over 5 billion gallons in total will head to the southern part of the state. 2 dams were opened on Friday. Those against the release say it could be harmful for farmers in the area. President Trump nominates potential leader for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Neil Jacobs, an atmospheric scientist, was the agency's acting leader during President Trump's last term. Jacobs was accused of misconduct in his involvement with the alleged Sharpie Gate, accused of pressuring scientists to change predicted forecasts for Hurricane Dorian. As the NOAA head, Jacobs will monitor forecasting efforts of organizations like the National Weather Service. Sophia, Emma, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Cole. The Oklahoma Humane Society has a new way to get back at your ex this Valentine's.
Hear just how you can neuter your ex when we return.
And cooler temperatures are expected for your Super Bowl Sunday. I have the timeline for that coming up.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
Where are your lungs? We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Let's take a quick look down at Highway 9 at the Weather Center cam. And we can actually still see some fog and maybe some, that low patchy fog. Currently, it's 50 degrees with 93% humidity. So again, that fog is definitely causing it to feel a little bit more sticky. Just making sure that you have that jacket though. Let's quickly zoom out to the rest of the metro, 50 here in Norman, but majority of the metro is still sitting in the 40s. So again, make sure you have that jacket if you're going out. And then let's spread out to the rest of the state where there's a vast array of different temperatures. 82 in Guyman, which was in the 20s for their low last night, which is about a 60-degree jump. So again, just across the entire state, again, 50s, 60s, all the way up to the 80s. Now, speaking of the 80s, we were actually sitting in the 80s on Monday with that record high of 84, and then less than 24 hours later, 45. That's quite the jump in my opinion, 39 degrees. And then, we're expecting those cooler temperatures to persist through the rest of the week. Now, again, lows tonight, we're going to warm up a little bit, 49, above average for our lows for this time of year, which is normally around 29, 30 degrees. But again, so a little bit warmer than on average, but still on the cooler side than what we are used to. Now the fog, it's going to come back tomorrow. We're going to see fog across most of the state. And again, that will influence your driving, going to and from class, or even to and from work, especially during the morning hours. Now, again, we're going to see the temperatures start to increase by Saturday, and then by Sunday, your Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to drop off into the 40s. We're going to continue to cool into next week. So, and the CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, is actually agreeing with this, where most of the United States is going to be below average. But there is our friends down in the south over in Florida who will be above average. Now we're going to look at our precip. We're going to be above average for precip across the entire U.S., which is going to affect after the Super Bowl. Now on Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to be seeing temperatures in the 40s, cooling off. But after Sunday, we are going to be seeing temperatures continue to decrease with that increased chance of precipitation throughout that week.
Well, I know I'm happy that I'm going to be indoors when it's freezing cold on Sunday. I'm excited for the game. What are our predictions? Who do we think is going to take home the big championship?
Ooh, as a Swiftie, some say I should be rooting for Kansas City, but in my heart, I'm actually rooting for the Eagles.
I can't root for the Chiefs, y'all. I can't. But the Eagles, such a hard choice. I'm just happy for the food that I'm going to be this Sunday.
Yeah, I'm really there for the advertisements and Kendrick Lamar. That's it. Yes. Thank you so much, Taylor. The Oklahoma Humane Society has an interesting way you can get back at that not so special someone. OU Nightly's Darby McCormick explains more.
Valentine's Day, a day to give a gift to a special someone. Or a day to remember you don't have a special someone at all, or mad at a special someone from the past. So while your single self was moping away online, you might have come across posts from the Oklahoma Humane Society.
We wanted to do something fun and new and get people kind of excited about spaying and neutering cats and pets in general.
The Oklahoma Humane Society has a campaign in the month of February called Neuter Your Ex, a chance to pay money to name a feral animal after your ex and get it neutered.
It definitely went above and beyond what we thought it would. We've gotten a lot of entries. It's only helping, awareness of spaying and neutering and community cats and TNR.
And even after the New to Your Ex campaign is over, the Oklahoma Humane Society is hoping that those same emotions for a Valentine, or the lack thereof, can be carried over as motivation for helping out the animals in the community.
We do hope that it just gets people excited about just any animal welfare like related subject in general, adopting and, just being aware that spaying and neutering is important.
So while you may not have a person to love this Valentine's Day, a furry friend is just as good, if not better. Reporting from the Oklahoma Humane Society, Darby McCormick, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Darby. The Humane Society has other campaigns they post throughout the year, so be on the lookout for more of their creative ideas.
With spring right around the corner, Sooner baseball and softball are almost in full swing.
And one OU basketball player has an interesting tie to Dr. J.
We're talking hoops on 3 different levels, and I'll show you pro and high school action locally. The Sooners also traveled to the #1 team in America last night. We'll show you how they did. Stick around for all that and more in sports.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good?
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I'm Oliver Schaefer, and it's time for sports. OU men's basketball Jalen Moore, a name which I'm sure needs no introduction for OU fans, has been named a top 10 candidate for the Julius Erving Small Forward Award. Moore is leading the team in scoring and rebounding. Moore is also leading the SEC in points per conference game, looked to keep the hot hand going against the Tigers and Auburn. The Sooners held their own against the #1 ranked Tigers, but couldn't declaw the Cats as Johnny Broom's 15 points lifted Auburn to a 98-70 win at home. However, good news for Sooner fans as freshman Dayton Forsyth dropped the team-leading 13 points in the loss. It's a battle of the elements tonight in Loud City. Thunder fans might be disappointed though, as Kevin Durant will not be playing today due to ankle soreness. This is interesting considering swirling trade rumors with KD. The Thunder look to pick up their 3rd win in a row and boast the NBA's best home record this season, sitting at 22-3. Tossing it over to the house that Trae Young built, the Norman North T-Wolves took a bite out of the Edmond Memorial Bulldogs, downing the district rivals in Tuesday's game 43-31. The Wolves were helped by sophomore Jamarion Hardman's 13 points. SEC preseason baseball rankings are here, with the Sooners ranked at 11. The Sooners do have preseason All-SEC nomination in right-hander Kyron Witherspoon, and here's head coach Skip Johnson on what it means to play baseball in the SEC.
They're going to see it when one of these teams come in here, and there'll be a lot of other fans here. They'll see that experience. I mean, you go to some of these SEC drills, it looks like Roy Noble out in the parking lot. I mean, there'll be barbecue pits going crazy, And it's just really exciting. I think they'll elevate their game. They'll prepare them for the next level.
Sooner softball is receiving a bit of news on National Girls and Women in Sports Day. The four-time reigning national champions have received their broadcast schedule. This schedule features 12 nationally televised games, with 3 being against Texas. Emma, Sophia?
Thanks, Oliver. It's a day for many to celebrate their careers and hard work in their industry.
Find out what national holidays are happening today that you can recognize coming up next.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I'm Caroline Kramer at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Death row inmate Wendell Grissom went before the Pardon and Parole Board today to make his case for clemency. The board denied clemency in a 4-1 vote. Grissom was convicted 20 years ago for murdering Amber Matthews in Blaine County. He attempted and admitted to the murder, saying he was drunk at the time and did not know what he was doing. His execution is scheduled for March 20th. Sophia, Emma, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Caroline. Today is National Girls and Women in Sports Day. To our OU women athletes, athletic coaches, and leadership, and even OU Nightly's very own women who bring you the best reports on OU sports, thank you for all that you do.
But we're not done yet, as it is also National Weather Person's Day. We want to recognize OU Nightly's meteorologists for their hard work to keep us informed. We celebrate today all of our meteorologists and women in sports for all of their hard work.
And you're not a woman in sports, but you are in sports.
I love all my coworkers, and I love Patty Gasso and all the women's sports at Oklahoma. It's great stuff.
Yeah, and it is your day because it's National Weather Person's Day. You are a weather person, so.
Yes, I do all of the school work for it too. I can tell you that much. Well, let's take a quick look at our Super Bowl Sunday forecast really quick. And let's actually take a quick look at that, rundown where we're going to start off at 4 p.m. about 48 degrees, and then we'll gradually cool off as we, as the game gets started, as you start to eat all those fun treats. And then, of course, over the next 7 days, we are going to expect that cool down later in the week with that chance of precipitation.
Thank you, Taylor, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Sophia Cabrera.
And I'm Emma McAndrews. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you? Your lungs.